My daughter's a new mom. She probably gonna be watching this. And I said, it's important. Yes, you are a mom. Yes, you are a new wife. But before you put that dinner on the table, you better go take a shower and do your hair and get cute before you sit at that table. Because at the end of the day, that day is going to turn into months. It's going to turn into years.
Mm,
You're going to be with the ponytail, with no makeup on, washing dishes, taking care of everybody. You're not going to take care of yourself. It needs to start now. Ask your husband, hey, babe, dinner's going to be ready in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I need you to watch the baby so I can go take care of myself.
right,
So she needs to leave that to her daughter now to say, I'm important as a mom. You're important. I'm taking care of you. I'm
right,
feeding you. I'm going to take care of you and clothe you. But sometimes we do that first and only, and then we don't take care of ourselves at all.
right.
So start getting into a routine of taking care of yourself now and let your daughter see that now.
I like that. Hey everyone, welcome to Unapologetically 50 Plus. My name is Angela. So today we are going to talk about how Black women 50 and over are shaping the future. We're going to be talking about goals and creating lasting legacy. But before we get started, I have one huge favor to ask. If you find any value or enjoy the content, please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification, and let YouTube know you want more of this content. It's free and you are helping us build this community. So thank you. We truly appreciate your support. All right, let me bring out my wonderful guest and let's get this conversation started. Hey everybody, so welcome to Unapologetically 50 Plus. Today, my guest, Miss Sherea, we are going to be discussing how Black women over 50 are shaping the future. So, hey Sherea, how you doing? Oh,
I was like, but I don't know what time people are watching. So
it's okay. So thank you for coming on. Now, when we decided you brought this idea to talk about how, excuse me, how, reshaping the future, legacy, how that's important. What made you decide on wanting to talk about this particular topic? And then tell us a little bit about you, because I see all the books in the back, so I know you like to read.
I love to read. I'm part of like 5 book clubs. It used to be 7.
Oh my gosh.
One of my book clubs is like 4 in the morning. And so I
Ooh.
love books. I feel like they save us a lot of time when you can hear somebody else's story. They give you the shortcuts.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe when we hit those milestones, it's crazy because when my kids are little, it's like, oh, I'd be glad when I get 18. Or I'd be glad when I get 21,
All right.
25. And then when you see that 40 approaching, you start thinking like, oh man, I'm about to be 40. Oh man, I'm about to be 50. And so it kind of has that other effect where this is the time when we are just now getting started. This is the time when we read F, and this is the time when we are continuing. But you have to make sure you don't get caught to say, okay, my life is halfway over. Because if it is, and now it's crunch time. So I think
Yes.
younger, when I have all these books in my head, like I have so many books and ideas, and I have an idea book, and I know I'm not going to finish them. But before it was, how do I get this out of my head into my hand for
Hmm.
me personally?
Uh-huh.
Even though it seems the same, now I'm thinking about what do I need to release in case this could be my last day. This could be my last interview. This could be my last conversation. I
Mm.
produced that I'm leaving with my kids. And this book right here, Wisdom to Wealth. Don't get emotional, Sheree. Don't cry. My friend, he just passed away
Oh,
last week.
I'm
And
sorry.
Facebook. And
Mm.
I immediately went to my library and was like, I have his book. And then I bought 3 books, one for me, one for my daughters, and he wrote his name in there to them.
Yeah.
Instantly, I'm thinking that's what I want. I want to be able to leave a legacy for my kids. So I write the books I want to read and I publish the books I want to leave for my
Mm.
family. My granddaughter could be able to read, stuff for me. So I don't know if I really thought about legacy initially when I was creating.
Yeah.
Everything I created from this point after turning 50 is a legacy project.
And it's funny, I know when we think about legacy, and I know I'm guilty of it, I think about money instead of what you're talking about, the books, just telling your story, just, telling or showing your family what you've accomplished over the years, big or small. Because when you and I were talking, you said you're leaving your legacy on YouTube. I never thought of it that way. But that really made me think, yes, I am. They're going to be able to see, what I created. Because right now they don't pay attention. They don't go on YouTube and, and watch my videos. So that was very inspiring when you told me, and it made me think about it a little differently. And I've written a book. I don't have it behind me, but I've written a book, and when I wrote it, it wasn't about. I wasn't thinking, oh, am I leaving a legacy? So I thank you for bringing that to my attention because I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Well, one, I want to read this definition I wrote. At its core, legacy is what you leave behind for future generations, whether that's through your actions, your impact, wisdom, wealth, or influence. It's about how you are remembered and the lasting mark you make on the world. And so,
Hmm.
types of legacies like personal legacy, your lessons, values, love you pass down in your family,
Right.
professional, your work, your creation, your contribution. Then you have your cultural, society legacies, how you change your community. Then you have financial. So there's different ways to leave a legacy, not just, and even when you leave money in your will and you leave houses, I have seen so many people lose those family homes because, yeah, you left them money, you left them a family home, but they don't even know how to use it. They don't even know how to manage the money. So even your lessons, and we have family meetings. When my kids were, I want to say 7, we had family meetings every week. How was school? What are your goals? How did you feel? And it
Hmm.
created an opportunity for us to talk to each other, but it also gave me an opportunity to see what direction they were going in so I can
Mhm.
help lead them. And so it wasn't important to them now, but I think now it wasn't important to them then.
Right.
It's important to them now because now we created an opportunity to communicate with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not foreign at this moment. It's like, oh yeah, we always did that. We always talked. Where that's hard in some families. So you can
Yeah.
leave a communication.
Yeah. That's, I like that definition. That kind of encompasses everything.
Mhm.
So you kind of explain what leaving a legacy means to you, but how do you envision your legacy impacting future generations, your children, your grandchildren, their friends?
Mhm. So it's crazy, even how you mentioned YouTube. So I used to try to. So my grandmother
Hmm.
did not teach me how to cook, but Thanksgiving was always at her house. People were
Hmm.
into our home. She was making the dressing. She was making the. She had her recipes.
Yeah.
Bring her favorite cake, her famous cake.
Mhm.
Nobody gave us these recipes for different reasons. It could have been they didn't have time. It could have been I don't want to share this recipe with you because if you know how to make it, you may not come to my house.
Oh, okay.
So I make it, you come to me. So I said, and this was in 2010, I'm going to
Mhm.
do a family cookbook for my girls so they can learn how to cook what I make. Mom, they say, Mom, I like this chicken. I'm putting the recipe. They didn't care about that book. Now, I cared about it. I cared about it.
Right.
Fast forward, it's 2025. Both my daughters, all my kids are married. My son, my 2 daughters. Now they're like, "Hey, mom, do you remember? Can I? What do I make? Spaghetti." My husband? I'm like, "Oh, when I was doing a cookbook though, when I was showing you." So even when you said your YouTube or your book,
Yeah.
it may not be important right now because your kids have access to you.
Right.
They don't have access to you. That's when those projects that didn't seem important become important.
Right. Right.
So we're doing the cookbook now.
Oh, okay.
Pages start at 50. I'm writing my stories. I'm writing out. So not only is it a legacy project for myself, I'm not
Mhm.
going to
Right.
sell it if they want to sell it later after I'm, not here. Um, but I have a section for my granddaughter. So that's a project I'm leaving. But now phase 2, we're cooking the recipes. So
Oh,
they're coming Sundays. We're making things in the recipe. So we're taking pictures. So we're creating moments
Yeah.
while creating legacy at the same time.
Mm,
And that's not what I thought it was going to turn into, but that's what it's turning into. And
yeah.
it's a beautiful, it's so beautiful to watch
Yeah.
in real time. And I won't be here for them to like. And I think when I was preparing for this episode, even though in my head I knew what I wanted to say, but
Uh-huh.
it does get emotional because you
Yeah.
think about it. If you're leaving a legacy, you're like, I'm not going to be here.
Right. Right. Exactly. That now I know you're very goal oriented. I can just by when we talked and I can see, the books and even, your coaching. You're a goal oriented person and I believe if I'm correct, your coaching is about, setting goals and going for those goals and achieving those goals. So what do you see? What challenges do you see women our age face when we try to set and then pursue our goals? What are some of our challenges and how one or two ways of we how can we get past those challenges and attain our goals?
I think that one of the things we have to do is unlearn a lot of things about what's expected of us. Um, we've been taking care of people. We've been taking care of the family. We've been taking care of the community. We've been taking care of the church. We've been in the PTAs. We have just rolled up our sleeves and went in on everybody else. And when we come to this stage of our life, we have to choose. Now, sometimes, as grandparents, the kids feel like our next phase is the live-in babysitter or the nanny.
Right?
Hey, if it's okay if you feel like you missed out on your kid's life and now you want to, or it's okay if you're an empty nester, you might feel lonely and you want the grandkids to come over. It's okay if some things that you didn't get a chance to do, maybe you want to cook, you worked a lot and now you want to kind of build some stability. That's okay. But it's not okay if you still have your life to pursue. So
Yeah.
this is the time where we really, 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 I know it's like 5 times, think about the next chapter of our life because we are not done. We're just beginning. And so you get to choose now. We're going to be empty nesters. My daughter's moving probably in May or June.
Okay.
Um, and we're trying to, I can't say it here, but I can say it later. We have a plan. I have a big goal and we're just going to, I can't say it now, but
Okay.
it's like, bye. It's like,
Right. Right. Yeah, we've been empty nesters for a while and it is different. While I miss, the kids around sometimes, I really enjoy the quiet and just the time with me and my husband. But you're right, as for the grandkids, I mean, our grandkids live 2 hours away, so we don't see them, as much as we like, but it's still it's nice when we can go down there and see them because we do miss them and then we can go, okay, see you guys later, have fun. So yeah, I agree that, and I've noticed that other cultures though, they do have that different dynamic with their grandchildren where they are maybe living grandparents if they're older, especially. um uh they're the ones that'll take care of the kids and take them to school and all that good stuff. And the parents will go out and work. And that's that generational, you know, um, living together, generationally living in the same house. And that is different for us as Black folks. We don't do that as often, or maybe depending on where you live in the country, it might not be as um, something that you do as much. So because I know I have family in Chicago and they live, two and three generations, but I think that's more out of necessity, not because I want to be here. It's out of necessity.
Let me say this: I was a licensed child care for 15 years. My husband and I ran that business together.
Oh, okay.
Putting your kids in childcare is not about how much does it cost. It's not about calling somebody saying, "Do you have a space open?" and how much it costs, because your kids are with somebody that you don't know.
Yeah.
Not only that, they're around other kids. It's not sometimes the daycare; it's the other kids that are talking to your kids during those 8 hours and changing who they are. Uh,
Hmm.
Very, very important. People are living different lifestyles. People have different ways they run in their house, and they have access to your kids. So if you have the opportunity and it makes sense, if it makes sense, yes, keep your grandkids.
Oh,
But
okay.
you know what I mean? But
Right.
sometimes there'll be some stuff happening at the other houses too. But if you
Right.
have to trust people with your kids, and to me, it's so, so important. I homeschool my kids. I raise my
Okay.
I I work from home and I work with them. So I was able to have my business. I had employees at the house. And so I was able to raise them and I was happy about that. But
Hmm.
specifically because we're talking about women over 50 going into their next chapter of their life, that's what that's about. But if that's how it has to be,
Right.
better solution, and you're shaping your grandkids' lives, by all means, take care of them, but not
Okay.
an obligation.
Okay. Yeah.
Not obligated to do that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Don't be messaging. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Makes sense. Gotcha. So, how have your definitions of success and achievement evolved as you have gotten older?
I'm not even sure if it's as I got older. My husband and I were talking about that this morning, um, because I'm around a lot of, I'm gonna do these quotes, successful people. A lot of my friends have $1 million homes. A lot of my friends have nicer cars than me. A lot of my friends, you know, have been successful in their careers, and I could have chosen that, because obviously you wouldn't have those type of friends. I could have chosen that. I could have had a house at what, 19, because my grandfather walked me next door and said, "Do you want this house? All we got to do is pay taxes on it." I had a full scholarship to USC because he was
Wow.
there. I did not take that. That's a whole nother story. So I had options, but I believe I chose the desires of my heart. And I, right now at this moment, as long as I don't get caught up into the checklist, like the house, the car, and all these things, as long as I don't get caught up when I'm interacting with certain friends and family, I love my life. So success is not, it used to be checking off the boxes. Success is now what fills me up, my heart. Now, filling your heart don't pay the bills, always. But at the end of the day, like, if I knew I had a week to live or 2 weeks to live, there's nothing really in me except for the rest of the ideas that I know I probably won't complete in this lifetime. There's nothing in me that I want to do that I haven't done.
Okay.
Success. I'm not
Okay.
bad going, "Oh, I should have wrote my book. Oh, I should have wrote the song. Oh, I should have wrote the play. Oh, I should have did this." No, I did it. I started my business. I did I've done the things that were in my heart.
Okay.
For success, I'm successful and I'm happy. I'm excited about what's next.
Okay. I hope more women can say that when they get to this age. So if you're in your 40s listening to this, I hope you can even say it now, but especially by the time you hit your 50s, that you can say, I'm successful, whatever the success looks like, whatever that looks like to you. And sometimes you might have to reframe what success is, because success, like, doesn't necessarily mean you making six figures. Success could mean that you have healthy, happy, well-adjusted children, and you
Yeah.
just have to, you just have to reevaluate really what success is. And yes, our definition of success does change as we get older.
And I hope that we don't get into the comparison is so bad. It's so hard. And you can see somebody one day that you think you want to be like, and the next day everything's like, what? They got a divorce? Oh wait, she's moving. Oh wait, this happened. It's like just stay focused on your life, stay focused on you, stay focused on your dreams, stay focused on your heart, and talk to your if you're married, if you have a spouse or you have your kids.
Hmm.
We had meetings, like I told you, we have meetings every week. I want to know what your goals are. I want to know how I can support you. I want to know what your dreams are. I want to know, and I'm going to tell you mine because I want to see how you can support me. And we keep our, well, we still do now, but we kept our vision boards on the wall. So I could walk past my daughters, I could walk past my husbands, I could walk past my sons at any time and see what they see for themselves,
Mm.
pray and see, oh, okay, wait a minute. They want to do basketball. I got a friend. Oh, they want to do, okay, I got a friend. Oh, you want to go ice skating? That's one of you. Okay, I got somebody. And so supporting each other through
Hmm.
the journey. Um, I don't have, and it's not too late to get those things. You know, it's
Hmm.
not too late to get a house or a car. It's not too late
Right.
for you can always get that.
And just hearing what you said, that is also another legacy that you're leaving. You know, when your kids are, when you're gone and your kids are reminiscing, that, just what you said, vision boards, how every one of you had a vision board. And that's something they're going to remember. Hey, this was something that mom wanted, or something that mom encouraged. I'm not going to say wanted, something mom encouraged us for us to do. And hopefully they pass that on to their children. And so that legacy that you have started is going to be passed down for hopefully for generations to come. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's beautiful.
My daughters, I have pictures when we did our first vision board workshop.
Ah,
My youngest was 9, and you can see her little cutting little pictures out and doing it. It was so cute. Her hair was all puffy. Now at 25, now see, I don't know what. At now we have it every year.
ah,
And husbands are here
oh,
doing
okay.
vision boards with their wives in my house. So you go from being 9 and 10 to now being married and have now she's going to be probably in a different state. Her husband's in the military, so
Mm,
she here at the next vision board party, and hopefully they will do theirs together.
mm,
But just that itself was after you picture it, you're like, wait a minute. And it started with their boyfriends. Hey, they're going to come over, they're going to do their vision board parties with us, and now their husbands. And
yeah,
so you see leaving a legacy. You see
yeah,
it in real time, you know.
yeah, you're doing it. That's so, and I hope people are, when they see this, they can start, figuring out, okay, how can I leave a legacy? What can I do to start, even if you want to call it tradition, what can I do to start this tradition? And this gets passed down to, my children and my grandchildren and so forth. So, what role does family and community play in the way you think about your legacy?
Oh, every single thing. Because, and I hope that we don't use the word sacrifice because sometimes I could slip into sacrifice. I go, oh, I sacrificed my career. I could have done this. Could have took this promotion, but I chose to take care of my kids. Or I could have traveled. I could have took this traveling job, but I didn't want to. We don't. I don't sacrifice. I
Okay.
made a choice. I made some decisions that I felt would impact my family in a way that I wasn't willing to impact them.
Okay.
And so I chose those things for myself. It's not my kids' fault.
Right.
But growing up, I grew up in Compton. I grew up without my mom. She struggled with substance, drugs. My dad passed away when I was a month old,
Mm.
so I had mentors raising me. Literally, when I say mentors, I mean my manager at McDonald's, my manager at Sizzler, my teacher at school, just passing a little bit of wisdom to me when they could. and my grandmother by herself, So family, everything, because I had to create what I wanted to see in the future, and I wanted them to have what I didn't have. I'm your mentor. I'm your Beyonce. Somebody want to tell you something and empower you and speak to you and motivate you. That's me. And
Okay.
I'm right here, and I'm right here in the next room, and I'm right here down. So I'm not gonna be traveling out of state, and that's not anybody else. That's me and what I chose to do. I wanted to be married. I want to start something, a new tradition. And so now we'll be, what, 34 years? I used to wonder how people forget. Now see how you forget. You're like, how many years?
Yeah.
I will be married 34 years this November. And so family is everything. Everything. Not perfect family, because it's still not going to be perfect,
Right. Right.
you know. But I chose that. And I'm happy about that.
Okay. So, how do you balance the desire to leave a legacy with your need for personal fulfillment in the present?
So I think it's more alignment
Okay.
and balance. And kind of what I was saying about the cookbook, because legacy is hard. Legacy takes time.
Right.
Legacy, you got to plan. And if we're already busy, we're already on the go. Nobody got time for legacy. You're trying to live, and then you just one day you're not here anymore. But just being intentional.
Hmm.
So, like I said, the cookbook was a surprise to me because my goal was just, okay, you keep talking about the greens, let me leave the greens recipe. I make good hot wings, let me leave the hot wings. Okay, I made this sandwich, you want that sandwich. So in my head it was going to be maybe 30 to 50 pages, maybe, if that. And then it just grew and grew. And then my daughter, I was sending them, I was text, we have a family text. I said, hey, I made this lobster ravioli. It was pretty good. I think I'm gonna put it in the cookbook. Oh, I'm coming over on Sunday. I want some. So it became this, okay, let's do it every Sunday. My daughter brought her stuff. We made our juices. So you're leaving a legacy, but you're creating moments in real time.
Right.
So even with goal setting, that's what's important to me. How can you incorporate into your daily routine where you're leaving and you're living at the same time? So instead of balancing, you're just aligning. You're just
Okay.
saying, hey, your legacy is now.
Hmm.
How are you? My daughter's a new mom. She probably gonna be watching this. And I said, it's important. Yes, you are a mom. Yes, you are a new wife. But before you put that dinner on the table, you better go take a shower and do your hair and get cute before you sit at that table. Because at the end of the day, that day is going to turn into months. It's going to turn into years.
Mm.
You're going to be with the ponytail, with no makeup on, washing dishes, taking care of everybody. You're not going to take care of yourself. It needs to start now. Ask your husband, hey, babe, dinner's going to be ready in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I need you to watch the baby so I can go take care of myself.
Right.
So she needs to leave that to her daughter now to say, I'm important as a mom. You're important. I'm taking care of you. I'm
Right.
feeding you. I'm going to take care of you and clothe you. But sometimes we do that first and only, and then we don't take care of ourselves at all.
Right.
So start getting into a routine of taking care of yourself now and let your daughter see that now.
I like that. I like that.
And so that was a hard cut. And then I said, here's accountability. Send me a picture when you get dressed. So now I get it. Mom, here I am. I'm dressed. I'm like, good. Because now setting goals and not having the accountability, who knows whether you got dressed or not. So I
Right.
say it often, hey, did you send me a picture? Let me see.
Mm.
So now you're going to get up saying, oh, shoot, my mom go, when you tell me what you have for dinner, I want to see your face.
Okay.
You got to have that accountability, that
You
support,
do.
and to tell them, hey, it is possible. It is possible
Yeah.
to cook and clean the house and then go do your hair.
And then go do your hair. I mean, you're right about that because and not to think of it as, well, I'm getting dressed and trying to look cute for him. No, you're doing it because it is. It's self-care.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. And you are showing your children that, hey, I need to make sure you understand mommy needs to take care of herself as well.
And she needs to see it. And it's hard. I
Yeah.
think that that is a challenge, and maybe that's hard for us because if we have to choose between helping somebody else and us, oh, let me go help them.
Right.
All right, let me go. We took care of my husband's mom for 8 years. I took
Mm-hmm.
care of his mother. We took care of his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out after 50, when you say, what are my goals? My goals is to take care of myself, not selfishly. I've taken care of my kids. I've taken care of everybody. And I have some goals that I want to, it's my turn now.
And
I
I don't
did not
think,
sacrifice. I didn't
right,
sacrifice. I made choices.
you made choices.
Choice I'm making.
But I think it's okay for us to also be a little selfish. I think a lot of times societally, you are made to feel guilty about being selfish, about being, saying, hey, it's time for me. And I don't love you any less. But especially if you have grown adult children, I have given to you and did what I'm supposed to do as your parent. And now it's time for me to, whether you want to think it's selfish or not, but it's time for me to do for me. And I don't think we should feel guilty or feel like we're being selfish at all. So what advice would you give to younger women about setting life goals and building a legacy?
So let's see. Let's
Because it
do,
sounds like you've been doing it all this time with your own children, so this question should be easy.
we'll give two answers.
All righty.
One for the people in the back. The checklist version is finish high school, go to college. I would say get a financial planner or some kind of money mentor. Somebody's going to teach you about how money works, how credit works, how home ownership works.
Right.
If I would have known how credit worked and home ownership worked and the importance of having a degree from USC, I probably would have taken that opportunity. But I
Mm,
didn't have enough information. And the person who, my grandfather, person who approached me, we didn't have the best relationship where I honored and respected his advice.
okay.
Having mentorship, having someone who believes in you is
Hmm.
a, get a therapist, especially if you're trying to have a relationship or a relationship with other people, and then think about how you can remix that. So now you got your career, you got your college degree.
Hmm.
Now that's the answer. My real answer, if you can, and you have because it does make a difference.
Hmm.
If you can, if you have the support and if you have the right people around you, I would don't just chase the salary.
Mm,
Do what makes you feel alive, which is the choice that I did and the choices that my kids did. Finish high school. After high school, I would do assessments. I would see what my personality is. I would see what my career assessment is, where I better fit. Then take a course, volunteer, try some things out, see what profession is in what you love.
hmm.
Find someone who sees you and can support you through that, and then pursue that and fill the gap on where you think there's a gap at,
Hmm.
and create a space for yourself and remix that because
Mm,
that is the part that's gonna make fulfill you,
hmm.
part that's going to bring you joy. That's the part that's going to make you wake up in the morning. But it may not always take care of you the way you want to be taken care of financially. That's why initially you have to have people that support you.
Okay.
So I think there's the right way, and there's the way that you don't regret at the end of your life.
Mm, okay. But then is that the right way? That's the right way by whose standards?
I had a friend who just told me, in my head, I'm thinking about who's gonna rewatch this? Who's gonna rewatch it? He said, my parents, specifically my dad, did all the right things.
Okay.
School, went to college, 401k, bomb, retired, no money issues whatsoever. perfect. The house is bomb. Backyard is immaculate. Everything he ever checked off on the list has been completed.
Mm,
But now he's sick
mm,
because he didn't take care of himself. He didn't do no self-care. He didn't have no proper diet. He didn't take care of his relationship with
mm.
his spouse. Relationship is a hot mess. Health is a hot mess. So now you're in the backyard, a paid off home, nice, and you can't do anything. You can't travel. You have no dreams to pursue, and you're in a relationship that you've been in probably 40 years,
Mm.
and you are unhappy.
Right.
What is what is your what is success now? So as you were going through life, people are like, "Ooh, look at you! You got the bomb. You got the great job. You got the degree on the wall. You have a wife. You've been married all these years, but you are unhappy at the end of your life. And you do all this for what? To
Right.
be happy at the end of your life, to retire, to
Yeah.
travel, to enjoy the relationship. What's what? So when I think about those type of things, the end of the story, a lot of times we're doing the story,
Mm,
end of the story.
mm. I
You know,
like that.
me and my husband, we may not have it all together, but together we have it all.
Mm. I like that too.
Pursuing certain things to compare.
Right.
We eat breakfast together, we eat lunch together, we work our business together, and so we have it all. Maybe not from the checklist, but from our list that we put together. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And some people can't, it takes courage to live that life. So that's why there's two checklists, because
Okay.
you may not be able to deal with the other part. If your parents come to your house and you don't have a degree because you want to play the guitar, or your parents come to your house and you're not married and they're pressuring you to get married and have a baby and make them grandparents, which I think is very selfish,
Mm-hmm.
haven't checked off the list that they have for you,
Right.
that's going to be hard for you. So which one you have to have courage for the second list.
That's
First list
true.
is kind of hard.
Yeah.
We'll respect the first list.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that answer. I was hoping you were gonna go in a different direction with that one because we get caught up in that first checklist, and it does take courage to because I didn't get my degree until I was in my 40s and I got it for me. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get it, to impress anybody. I got it because this was something I was interested in and I wanted to complete that goal. And in all my career, I've never used that degree, but I use it for my own personal reasons. So I like that answer. That was good. Thank you. Um, in what ways do you believe your legacy can contribute to breaking down racial and gender barriers for future generations?
I believe that I'm doing that right now, and I think if you hang around me a lot, you come to my house. When you leave my house, I'm always going to tell you when your book coming out. Which I'm thinking, when are you going to write it? I don't care if it's a booklet. I
Hmm.
don't care if it's something you're printing out and you're putting it in a 3-ring binder. Um, so when I have the goals, it was called the Goals Journal. Um, we were in print 13 years, and I just changed it over to the Ultimate Goals Handbook because I wanted it to be something, and I'm still working on that. That goal is to be a perennial seller, like Think and Grow Rich, like How to
Mm,
Win with People. It's not there yet, but it is. If I leave today and my kids need help with their goals, I feel like it's the ultimate goals handbook for them to be able to set and achieve the goals that they have for themselves. Now, these are Black females, two Black parents, but I released that book out into the world. I have people that are reading it who aren't African American, who aren't female, who aren't 50. There's some people who are older, there's some
mm,
people who are younger. So it changes generations. It's already breaking those barriers. I work with people, all different ethnicities, or we have a meetup here out in Ranch. I'm in Ranch Cucamonga. We have a meetup
okay.
once a week. We go through the journey together, all different ages. Parents will bring their kids. I'm bringing my kid, and I'll give them advice right there. So it's already changing. And it's kind of how we talked about living a legacy while living. I
Okay.
had somebody comment on my YouTube, "Hey, you helped my daughter with her book." I didn't I didn't literally help her with her book. I probably had a whole conversation with her and on the side, told her some stuff to do. She released the book. She remembered me
Mm-hmm.
all the time. But if she didn't come back and tell me, I wouldn't have known that she actually did what I told her to do. And so as we live, we leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
This is a legacy for you because nobody talked to me about being 50. Nobody talked to me about how I feel when I'm going through menopause. Nobody talked to me about, and I don't know if it's shame. I don't know if it's not having enough information. I don't know if it's because we're still supposed to be strong and take whatever,
Right.
but nobody want to talk to me about that. So
Right.
this is good um, for our generation who might be afraid to even ask their own parents or maybe ask their sisters or ask somebody. But let me go on over to this podcast real quick, see what they talk about this subject, see what I'm dealing with.
Right.
Get some courage and finding women who are courageous enough to speak up,
Right.
to say, because there's topics I'm not ready to speak about, but there's topics out there for us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is good what you're doing.
Well, if you know someone who wants to come on and talk about menopause, then I'm looking for someone to come on.
Well,
Huh?
find you somebody, and then I'm gonna watch it all day. I'll watch it all day. And
Uh,
maybe your husband could do the men, because the men, they be going through
yeah.
they don't want to talk to nobody about it.
And he talking about that because we were talking about the whole menopause thing, and he said, "Yeah, men need to understand too that when your woman goes through it, you gonna go through it because it's
Because they change too. Their body is changing, and they're not always
but
about how their body is changing, and they're not.
right, that's true. They're not. Yep,
And we have to deal with that, but we have to deal with it in silence because at least we may not talk about it as we should, but there's resources out there.
right,
I don't know if they talk to each other about it at all because it may be embarrassing,
right,
But hey, they need a space.
right. They do. They definitely do. That's true. So, how do you prioritize which goals to pursue, especially when considering the legacy you want to leave?
So right now, I'm trying to choose my words carefully. So we talked about earlier, I made some choices.
Yeah.
So now, this isn't the right words, but it's the only words I know. Now I need to catch up.
Okay.
Now I need to earn. It's money earning time for me. So my first priority right now is to have $1 million day. And so I literally been planning out how to do this. I've been reading books. I have products. I'm just creating, creating, creating. Now,
Mm.
this past January was supposed to be my $1 million day. I knew that I wasn't quite ready, but I pursued it as if because I knew I didn't have the following that I needed for that day. I knew, but I had everything else. I knew how I wanted. So I had a goal-a-thon, which I trademarked. So a 12-hour goal-a-thon, and my goal is to do that annually every year. And so to teach from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I had worksheets and I had, courses. And then my goal is through that goal-a-thon is to sell courses, upsell courses. One thing I would help people, period. So you can come for free. You come for free, you should be able to reach all your goals so that I can monetize that. The more people watch it, I could upsell it. I could clip it up and have little small clips. And so my goal is to do that every year. So throughout this year, I'm still creating courses, still creating worksheets. So when I get back to my second goal-a-thon, um, we're buying a van, and my goal is to go throughout the city and help people reach their goals. I may pull out, do the podcast. Hey, are you living your dreams? Are you living your goals? So my main goal right now is to make money. I did
Okay.
money that I should have made, that I was capable of making. And so now that's my main goal.
Okay. Okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that goal. And especially if that money making goal is doing something that fills your heart. And it sounds like what you're doing fills that, it fills you, it fills your spirit. So that should make it easier to hit that goal. Now, my last question, what does being unapologetically 50 plus mean to you?
All right, so I have an answer, and
It
then
looked like, did you write it down? She said, this is going to be a good answer.
something else for you. So I got to answer. Being
Okay.
unapologetically 50 means I no longer ask for permission to take up space, to prioritize myself, or to live on my own terms. It means I embrace every part of this season, my wisdom, my body changes, my desires without apology. It's about owning my experiences, my voice, my legacy without shrinking for the comfort of others. And I've spent years being accountable to everyone else, my family, my job, my community. Now I'm accountable to me first. And that's not selfish, that's necessary. Unapologetically 50 means I'm no longer proving, I'm just living, I'm building, I'm dreaming, I'm creating, and I refuse to let age be a limitation. Um, and I have this poem I'm gonna end with. So the next chapter begins. 50 plus, a crown of years, wrinkles carved by laughs and tears. I'm not the girl I used to be. I'm the woman I've set free. I honor my wisdom, the lines on my skin, the lessons, the battles, the places I've been. My body is shifting. My pace may have changed, but my power, my presence, those stay unchanged. For years, I've carried, I've nurtured, I've served, I've given so much, but now I deserve to stand in my fullness, to put myself first, not selfish, just necessary, quenching my thirst. I'm not here to prove, I'm here to be, to build, to create, to set my soul free. This chapter is mine. I write it with fire, with boldness and passion, with fierce desire. No more coulda, shoulda, wouldas. No more delay. My story starts with me today. I live my best. I give my all, not waiting for the final call. I walk in 50 with my head held high, unapologetic, no need to justify. I'm dreaming, I'm doing, I'm fully alive, and I lived out loud for the rest of my life. So when I'm gone, they'll still hear me. Black woman, 50, fierce, free, and of course, unapologetically me.
That was amazing. I love that. I love it. So, how can folks get in touch with you? Tell them about your podcast. I will leave it in the description as well, but how can they get in contact with you? If they need to do some goal setting, they want to watch your YouTube, please watch her YouTube channel. It's amazing.
So I am Coach Sherea, and I'm rebranding. So I'm Coach Sherea. Everything Instagram, Twitter, CoachSherea on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can find me there. And don't forget to get the Ultimate Goals Handbook. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
If you're a Prime member, you get free shipping. Get it tomorrow, next day.
Okay. Ultimate, hold on, let me write that down because I sure will get it. Ultimate goals handbook. Okay.
There we go. Ultimate Goals.
Okay.
Mhm.
Great. I will definitely, because that's two books, the other one that we talked about before we came on. So I'm gonna get both those books. So thank you, Miss Sherea. This has been amazing. Your goals, your legacy, it's very inspiring and it's helped me to look at things differently as well. So thank you again for sharing your wisdom with us. And everyone, please remember to like, share, subscribe, check out her YouTube channel, go to her website, just check her out on all platforms, and support this wonderful lady. So thank you guys for joining us, and I will see you again next week. Bye.